the unfortunate reality of life is with life comes death. Right? So, not really, life doesn't really equal death, but death eventually happens. And so, why is this important that we understand that death is going to happen? Because we need to be able to store critical digital information. And this information is going to be critical for your family members. So when you pass on and have gone on your way, right, your family members are still here with lots of unanswered questions about how to take care of your affairs. And so what do these affairs include? Right? They're going to include, of course, all of your banking, any credit that you have, right? So this is going to be things like your car, your house, things like that, right? HOUSE, okay? It's going to also include your investments, right? And then different parts of your life, we'll just call them services that you may have. So these things may be things like, utilities, I don't know, Netflix, things like that, bill pay, any of these type of services. They're going to need, your family is going to need to know this information, all of this information about you and everything that goes on. And we're going to list out here a few of the information that you need to do as far as those primary information components. And then we're going to talk about today about how you take care of that digital information. Now, the reality is that most of this stuff that you have here either exists today or will exist in the future in some sort of cloud environment. So this data is stored digitally somewhere, and you are accessing this critical data over cloud services, and you're providing specific information about this to get into your account. So I know that didn't make much sense, but let me give some examples. So for your credit card, your credit, for example, or your banking, let's just say your banking. To access your banking, you're going to need to know an account number, right? You're going to need to know the name on the account. You're going to need to know passwords and PINs. Okay, you're also going to need to know a set of things called challenge questions. And these challenge questions are things like, favorite actor or high school prom location, your favorite pet. These are personal questions that only you probably know. In fact, I would venture to say that if you were to ask your family members now any of this personal information, these challenge questions, 90% of your family members will not know the answers to these questions. They're going to come up with a big question mark themselves. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? Because when you pass on, when you are no longer here, they're going to have to get into your bank, and your bank is going to ask them these questions. They're going to want all of this data in order to get into your bank accounts. Now, can they bring to the bank a death certificate and fill out a bunch of paperwork? Absolutely, they can. But during the time of a death, this is a lot of work for them to do and a lot of things for them to take care of. So we need to be able to store this critical data somewhere so that our family members can find it. But we have to, as individuals, be able to put this information together in a secure location. So we've talked about a few things on this YouTube channel, and I'm just going to list them out here. So some of the options are a program called LastPass. Now this is a cloud-based service that stores information securely. We've also talked, and you can look up these videos. We've got AxCrypt, C-R-Y-P-T, I think is how they spell it, and then TrueCrypt. Both of these videos are available to you on this YouTube channel, this Jeffrey Lush YouTube channel. And both of these, this is cloud-based, and this is really local drive, right? Now, we can take this information here and dump it into this format inside whatever you feel comfortable with. So you can dump all your secure information, and please see this video on the YouTube channel called LastPass, because it'll walk you through some of that basic information. But essentially, we're going to put all of this data into a file, right? Into a secure file, and we'll name this, I don't know, let's just say B of A, and we'll create another one for our Sears card, and we'll create another one for our utilities, etc., etc., etc. There's lots of things and transactions that you do that you take for granted, and this information needs to be in here. In addition, some of the information that you may want to include is information maybe on vehicles that you own, right? So you may own some vehicles, and it may be as simple as just putting in information related to repairs or just personal information that only you would know. And so we want to make sure we put in car information, and of course, if you own a house, you're going to want to put in your house information. And then, of course, if you have investments, you're going to want to put in your investment information. So all of this becomes absolutely important. So now you may be asking yourself, well, this is great. I know I need to store all this stuff in one location. Right now I have it sitting in a file cabinet under my desk, and when I pass away, they can come in and see this, and that's great. If that's how you feel secure about storing this digital information, just storing it in a file cabinet, behind the desk, absolutely wonderful. Take care of it. It's great. Now, I will tell you that if you're going to do that, there's going to be a lot of your family members that are going to be involved in taking care of things related to your estate. So sometimes putting it into a cloud format allows these family members to quickly and easily view this information and help with the tasks that are absolutely necessary in order to finish your affairs and get everything in order. In addition, with a cloud-based technology, you may be saying, I need to keep it secure, right? You may not trust your children with your bank information as you're living. You may not want that. So what I always suggest is that you could create, put it in a sealed envelope that's kept at the bank, or, you can do it any way that you want, and in here would be your username and your password that you use as the master for LastPass. And so if you want to use a cloud-based, all of this information will be stored here in a sealed envelope. You could put it, in a bank. You could, tape it to a secret place. You could give it to your lawyer to hold for you. Give it to a trusted friend. Whatever you want, you can put your usernames and passwords inside of this sealed envelope. Put it in a safety deposit box, and make sure that, at the bank you have to show a death certificate in order to get to it. There's lots of ways to do it. So hopefully this video, it's run on a little longer than I like, but this will allow you to kind of get your digital information in order, right? So these are some of the things that we've talked about in this video. Let's just review real quick. The first thing is Get your house in order by gathering up the information that you need to give the information to your loved ones. So we need to gather this information. We need to put it somewhere. We talked about putting it in a cloud using LastPass, maybe encrypting it electronically. A lot of it's already electronic today. So something, you could also store that, just in a normal file if you choose. And some of the information you want to document on are your bank accounts, your credit cards, your utilities, things that you're paying all the time, including information about your automobiles, the payoff, things of that nature, your house mortgage, refinance, things of that nature, and then, of course, any investments that you may have. All of this information listed here as well, we want to make sure that we know about, that you've given all this information and secured it somewhere within the environment. It may be easier for your family members here to store that information inside of a cloud service, but of course you could potentially lock that in a sealed envelope somewhere with a username and password, perhaps to LastPass account, so that on your passing they can get this envelope, open it up, look at the username and password, and then continue to take care of your affairs. Here, the bank, for example, you may want to store this in a safe deposit box, this sealed envelope. You may want to store it with a lawyer that you trust, right? And have them keep it. You may want to, tape it to the bottom of your desk or something, or give it to a trusted friend. Someone to give this username and password to so that they can access all of your information.